you came with your crutches.
I love the fact they put them there. I didn't realise they were sitting there.
What have you done with yourself?
Well, I had a hip break and a wrist fracture at the same time, so it was a fall in the kitchen. I gather a lot of people do.
Just a simple thing?
Very, very simple. I just went crash down, and it meant 2 months in hospital. So this is my very exciting experience now, coming back into the rat race, so to speak.
Well, you've spent enough time in hospital anyway in your life. I think that's one of the reasons why you and the other boys, particularly Ethel, who spent some time with the Alfred as a patient, do so much for people who are hospital-bound, because you know what it's like to be in hospital.
Yes, and the Alfred's been wonderful. I was in the Alfred again this time too. And of course we were so thrilled to be able to be part of the Paralympics.
Yeah, tell us about that. Was that a great experience?
It really was, and I think particularly so for me having to be in a wheelchair, because, you know, I really, really appreciated so much more what the athletes do. So, yeah, for all of it was great. And we really won't be touring anymore as a group, but it's lovely to have these one-off experiences with the boys. And we're going to do one more concert shortly for Werribee Park, I think, in January, which will be very nice.
Yeah. Do you know, just seeing you there on stage with it's an unusual picture too, of course, with you in the wheelchair.
Yes.
But, you know, in many respects, it was a highlight for so many people around Australia, because, as I've mentioned before on the show just this week, that the really special performers are those on whom we take the journey. And the journey with the Seekers has been a fascinating one for all your fans in Australia, hasn't it?
Oh, look, really, it's been amazing to catch up with the fans through the years, because they've all grown up with us, so many of them, and the songs have such significance throughout their lives. So it's rather nice to still be able to sing and recreate the music, and very nice for me to be able to continue with a solo career too, so long in life, because, you know, I'm getting to the age now where most people would be thinking of retiring, and there's no way.
Not you.
No way in the world. No, in fact, I'm very thrilled that the new album's coming out. Yes, this one.
This is coming out in about 3 weeks' time, isn't it?
It is, yes, and Warner Music have already reissued some of my jazz albums last year, and now they're putting out this compilation, and for the first time on an album, they've included Australia Land of Today.
Which is a very important song to you, isn't it?
Well, it is. Actually, it was written and first recorded back in '92, but with Australia's centenary of Federation coming up, Warners have decided to get it out in time for January the 1st, so people can feel very patriotic when they hear my song.
So you wrote it, and you're still doing a lot of writing, aren't you?
Yes, indeed I am, and I'm looking forward to doing another album shortly with many of my own compositions. Oh, that's, yeah, when I did the MCG, that was the opening of the Great Southern Stand, actually, in '92.
Yep.
Yes, it's good to be able to write. I'm very, very grateful to have that side of my career. And, of course, John did such a marvellous job of the Olympics song. I was full of admiration.
I couldn't stand if you mentioned it again. John, would you just play 3 notes of the
of the flame? It's a great song.
Just one more time for those.
It's being performed tonight as part of the school spectacular by a huge orchestra and choir and the whole thing. And there's another school, they had to get permission from SOCOG.
No, hang on just one second. We can't get you to perform it here in the studio.
If you paid the $1 million or whatever it is that
is the schools concert paying $1 million to have that performed?
No, I don't know what they're paying, but they have special permission from SOCOG and Sony Publishing and the whole thing to perform.
If you give me the sheet music, John, I'll sing it. I'll learn it, and I'd love to.
Would you really?
Oh, it's a beautiful song.
It's available in about a week.
Is it?
Oh,
right. Because I've asked for it, and they said it wasn't coming out for a little while. That's good. Well done.
Hi, folks. Bert Newton, nice to host the show. So, and that means that you'll be able to sing. Would you come and sing it on the show here?
Oh, I'd love to, Bert. I think it's a beautiful song.
Oh,
yes,
lovely.
Yes,
good.
You know.
Terrific.
And,
just wait until we go to Tasmania, because that'll be a highlight for them, because they didn't see the Olympics.
Well, you know, I lived in Tasmania. You know, you can't speak.
Are you from Tasmania originally?
I lived there no, not originally. I'm a Melbourne girl born, but we went there when I was 6
I
or
love
7.
I think
it's fantastic, and you know, you really feel very special when you come from Tasmania.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be thrilled that we'll be going down there. Absolutely.
So December the 4th, well, they're not there yet, but we can do anything until such time as December the 4th, and all of a sudden we have to be very But actually, it'll be great to be part of Tassie again.
Absolutely.
You mentioned jazz before, and I know that, you know, it's your first love. I guess you heard about Frank Johnson, the wonderful player who died just a couple of weeks ago in Queensland.
Yes, and I've just heard that somebody in the jazz world has just died too. Ron Halstead, many people would have known.
Yes.
Very sad, yes. There's a good fraternity amongst the jazz people. I don't actually sing jazz anymore, so it's a very, very special period of my life that I look back on. And, of course, you always feel so much at one with all the people who've grown up with that music.
A lot of people watching us this morning, I guess particularly in Victoria, with the name of Frank Johnson, would remember his fabulous Dixielanders. Because back in the 50s, I mean, he was such a huge name. I used to compare jazz concerts downbeat, and, I mean, he was just such a... Actually, I think he he began with Bob Clemens. I think he began the concerts themselves as an entrepreneur.
Yes, and of course my sister Beverly has had a lot to do with Frank Johnson too.
Exactly.
Yes, many, many years she's sung with him too.
A friend of mine, Ted Carroll, was actually with him a half an hour before he died. It was in, would you believe, in Noosa, in Hastings Street. He was, there was a result of a car accident, and he died not long after that. Anyway, Vale Frank and the other gentleman whose name you mentioned?
Ron Halstead, yes. I've only just heard yesterday that Ron will be very, very sadly missed by the jazz world.
Right. You mentioned before how close you are to the Alfred Hospital. Now, there's a ward there now called the Seekers Ward, isn't there?
There is, yes. And actually, because of my hip break, we missed out on the big official launch. So I believe sometime in February there's going to be a very big press get-together to really say this is finished now and open for all the wonderful work.
So that's the ward there we see?
This was, yes, no, not that particular bit, but yes, this was when we were there, when we were saying this ward is going to come about.
I was going to say a pretty small ward.
But they do some fantastic work at the Alfred. It's a marvellous, marvellous hospital.
Of course they do. We talked about our journey with the Seekers before, and you made mention that with the exception of the special that's happening at Werribee Park and whatever, you're not going to tour again as a group. Are there any regrets at all with having joined the Seekers all those years ago? Because let's talk about your journey with them. It's been a fabulous one.
Yes, it's funny, because life has been very good to me for a very long time, I'm able to get the Seekers in a very different perspective from the way I started out. At first I was fairly frustrated because I couldn't do, when I was with the Seekers, I couldn't do other work as well. So I wasn't really sure, excuse me, whether to stay with the group or whether I should be moving on. And I think as the years went by, I felt very much regret that I'd broken the group up because the public was so upset about it. So I think the fact we've had our reunion and we've had such good times and brought the music now to another generation, and John Kovac, our manager, in his wisdom, has got many of the tracks out again and videos out. And I've been able to appreciate the group in a whole different perspective. So I kind of enjoy it along with the fans. And the recent tour we had, I think I actually enjoyed the music more than I ever have done. But it's so nice now for me to have a chance, because the group won't be touring full-time, it now gives me a chance to get on with something for myself. And, you know, the fact the album's coming out is very exciting for me now.
Well, we all know and, of course, appreciate the fact that, your sound is so important to the Seekers. And they've had other lives which have been very successful with wonderful singers, but you were the one that started out with them, and there's just that voice of Judith Durham that drives the engine. Oh,
it's a big thrill to sing with the boys. I always look forward to getting together with them too. We're such good mates, and it's a very, as time's gone on, we've realised it's our four voices that make that sound and no other, and it's just a thrill.
Well, good luck with the album, which is out.
Yes, Hold On to Your Dream, it's called.
3 weeks.
And I'm going to sing a song from it. I've written all of them, of course, but this one's called Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda, which we all...
Any that you co-wrote with your late husband, Ron? Did you?
Yes, actually, Ron wrote a song called In Your Love, which I contributed the words on, with Slowly Gently, a lullaby he wrote the music of and I did the lyrics for. And yeah, there's a couple, he's performing on a couple of them too, so that's a big thrill. And my sister also did some of the backing vocals, which was nice.
Look forward to the song. Thanks for coming in, Judith. Great to see you. Judith Durham.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, put my arms around you tight as we stood there in the shadow when the moon was shining bright. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, said I loved you there and then. Oh, I really missed my biggest chance, it might not come again. They say who hesitates is lost, I know now that is true, but still I hope someday all my wishes will come true.
lovely, Judith. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bert.
Nice song, too. What a pity you couldn't do the dance break, but we understood that, yeah. This is the album to look for. That's it's out in 3 weeks' time, and also, of course, you can still buy a great book by Judith, her story, Colours of My Life. Please thank again, Judith Durham. Great to have you with me.
Thank you, Bert. That's lovely.